Is it too early to tell y'all what I was thinking about yesterday? Then on this note,
Go ahead. Here we go.
Eh, eh,
We go get ready to dump you,
I
but
thought I really thought about this for about an hour yesterday.
okay. All right, let's hear it.
2028, man, I'm thinking about running for president of the United States. If I start right now today,
Notty,
if I start my,
you got my support, man.
because
You
guess
got
what
my
I'm gonna do?
support.
I was thinking about a reparations plan. I was thinking about a re-education plan, getting teachers raises. Like
Right.
I really was formulating my whole campaign. And I said, if I start today, in 4 years, will I be ready to be president of the United States of America?
Like I just said, Donald Trump with no experience was president of the United States of America. He's got a good chance of winning again. Hell no. Why not?
Right.
I believe in you. I trust you. I believe in you way more than I do Trump.
I
why
figure
would I
in
vote
2
for you,
years.
Notty?
Have you ever been stranded on the side of the road, Arle?
Yes.
It's not comfortable, is it?
No.
Dogs and poodles, if you find yourself in a jam on the side of the highway, give my folks at Bay 11 Towing a call, 404-770-6949. Again, that's 404-770-6949. Being stranded on the side of the road in Metro Atlanta is very stressful and dangerous. Bay 11 Towing is who you need to call, whether you're dealing with a flat tire, dead battery, full-on breakdown, or whatever that may have you on the side of the road. Call our folks at Bay 11 Towing, and they will get to you with a competitive rate and quicker than everybody else in town. Again, that's Bay 11 Towing. That number is 404-770-6949.
What's up out there in Know It All Land? It's your girl, Arle Michelle. What's up? And your boy, Notty. And we welcome you to the No Show, where we're going to teach you a few things, make you laugh. We call it edutainment. We want you to be informed.
What's happening, Arle?
Hey, I can't call it, as my dad always say, I can't call it. It's probably country or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the old folks used
Oh, geez.
to talk like that back in the day. Definitely, somebody like OG Bobby Wilson, he a OG, so he would say something like that.
He does. My dad, he's slick with it. He used to tell me always when he'd leave me and drop me off at college or wherever, all right, I'm just keep your nose clean. And I'd be like, what?
Right.
What does that even mean?
Right,
Okay,
keep your
don't
nose
be nosy,
clean.
don't snort no coke. I don't know. It could've
Exactly.
been anything.
That's what I'm accustomed to usually meaning. Keep your nose clean. Don't be snorting no coke. Don't do no heroin.
I don't know
Don't
why.
do no powdery substances around your nose area.
I mean, I'm not sure why he thought he need to tell me that because I'm scared. I ain't putting
You
nothing
gotta
in
you
my
gotta make
nose. My
sure.
head hurt. But I appreciate him telling me,
Right. You can
Whatever it
never
means.
be too sure. Now they got this thing, got the young folks say they'll wipe your nose. That ain't a
That
good
mean,
thing.
what that mean?
I mean that mean they'll I think it mean they'll take you out. We'll wipe your nose. We'll make sure your face clean.
Oh my.
Right. Right.
I ain't out there like that. I was still trying to get used to they capping. And I was like, usually our slang comes from somewhere. Like
Yeah, but we've been saying capping for a long time.
I didn't say
Yeah, we
capping
were saying
before.
capping. They didn't come up with capping.
Did you come up with it now? Because
No,
you
I
be the
didn't. I
first
did
one to use
not
the
come up
word.
with capping. Capping been around for a long time. You know what cap is short for, right?
What?
Capitalism. So when we would come up, I'm gonna explain it to you. When we
I
would
ain't
come
help
up,
me.
when we would come up, if we were doing something genuine, out of just pure generosity,
Mm-hmm.
we'll let them know, hey man, no cap. Like I'm not capitalizing off you. I'm not trying to get no money off of you.
Oh.
I'm doing this out my goodwill. No cap.
Mm-hmm.
This is just pure.
Yeah.
So that's clear. That's still what it means today. except they just use it more often, and they use it to mean this is the truth. Because
Right.
if capitalism, a lot of that is a lie. It's a trick. It's a scam. It's a way to get you out your money or something like that. So when we say no cap, we mean this is true. This is genuine. I don't mean you no harm when I present this to you. So yeah, we've been using that for a long time.
Okay. Thank you for that explanation. Cause I'd be like, where they cause usually it's like when they used to say, I'm trying to think of like a word that I had to go that came okay, you probably not gonna know what this is. Well, they slobbing. Well, what is the
Oh, slob on my
saliva
knob, like
thing?
corn on the cob. I know what
Right.
slobbing mean.
Slob, but they would say, oh, she's slobbing. But it's
Right.
more like salivaing. It
Yes.
turned in, but I had to go back and like trace. I
Yes.
couldn't cap wasn't. I was like, why are they talking about caps? I don't understand something on top of it. And I also thought it might have been like you putting something on that, like a cap, no cap. Like don't put nothing on it. You lying,
Right.
basically.
Right. I mean, basically, you capping mean you lying. Right. That's pretty much what it means.
Yes, very
You
good,
know.
very
So
good.
that's like I
I'm gonna
said. It
I'm gonna
goes.
I'm gonna get the slang, but we as a culture, baby, we be coming up with some stuff.
Yeah.
Whew,
Yeah.
we come up with it and we cut it off. Like we ain't gonna give your name could be something real simple, like Ace, one syllable. We gonna call you something else that's longer, like that's good, baby boy, baby Ace. What? Why is it 14 now? 14 syllables. It kills me.
Right. Oh, we shorten it up. I got a couple homeboys who had longer nicknames than they have today. We
Right.
had a homeboy in school. His name was Marius. Shout out to Marius if you watching, but we no nobody called him Marius. He had he had these clean waves. He always brushed his hair. He kept brushing his hair, so his waves was like
Just
in
he was
there.
in the ocean.
Oh yeah, they was the ocean. So
Mm-hmm.
we used to call him Smooth M because Marius was kind of like who want to be
Very
Marius, right?
smooth.
So we called him Smooth M, Smooth M, Smooth M, but that's too long. Eventually, what we call him today is Smooth. What's up, Smooth? What's up, Smooth?
Right.
So his nickname is Smooth. I got another homeboy. We used to call him Hollywood
Oh,
because he was Hollywood.
Mr. Hollywood. I like it. He would
Now,
be my
now it
friend.
is fitting that he does acting today, but
See?
anyway, we used to call him Hollywood, but Hollywood was kind of too long, so now we just call him
Call him
Wood,
Wood. I,
right?
I know it.
And we've been calling him Wood for 20 years, 20 some years.
Yeah,
So
my God, people, I could when I was growing up, my great grandmother did not believe in nicknames. So the child that was born the year of her death got a nickname, and they had nicknames out there, but she didn't believe it. That's not. I'm not calling you that. You something with your first your middle name. Everybody had, you got to be called by your name.
right,
Well, when I went to college, I didn't have no nickname, and I felt some kind of way, so they created one for me, and so it was a derivative of my name. Then they shortened it. It was Mickey. Then it got short to Mick because my middle name is Michelle. Mickey, Mick. Then my God people called me Little Bit. And then it got the bit, which started sound like y'all
yeah,
call me out
yeah,
my name. Hold up.
right,
Call
right,
me Bit.
right,
Bit.
right,
Come in. It's funny. They don't say Little Bit no more. So you're right. Nicknames just get chopped up. Like your nickname, well, Naughty is your nickname that I guess you got when you started in radio.
right, right. The
And it was
students
Naughty
gave me that
Dread.
name. It was Naughty Dread at first, right?
And
Shorten it
then
down.
sometimes they'll call you Dread or they'll call you Naughty.
Yeah, yeah,
Naughty
yeah.
is better.
I would say so. I would think so. I
But
would prefer that.
because dread, it has negative connotation. So
Correct.
it's supposed to
Correct.
be you have locks. They could have called you lock.
There you go. You learning, Arlie. I
No,
appreciate that.
I knew,
Gotta
not
give you,
you was learning.
gotta give you applause for that. That means a lot.
I already knew
That
that.
give me hope. Oh, okay. All right.
That didn't have nothing to do with you. Because when I
Oh,
realized,
okay.
I was like, wait a minute, why y'all calling that? Because I talked to, we used to have a guy that ran A2 for our sound company for the band, and he had locks. And this was like 10 years ago. And he was just like, yeah, people say, and it made me go look it up because I heard either somebody when I was in Jamaica or something say something about it. And I had to come and like do my own research. So I realized that those people gave us,
Correct.
the
Correct.
dread name, and we didn't realize. It's just like the word picnic. I had a songwriter that taught me. She's like, I
Right.
refuse to say picnic because it was short for pick a nigga. And I was like,
Yes.
oh, I've been saying picnic. We can never say that again. We
Yes.
just need to be enlightened. Just like I learned
Yes.
something the other day. Oh my God. It had something to do with, I'm gonna have to think of what it was because I was sitting there like, oh, Oh, it was cowboys. We were
Mhm.
always cowboys,
Right.
not them. And
Correct.
then they took the name when it became cool, but we were the actual cowboys, so they
Right.
called us boys, and we were the ones dealing with the cows.
Dealing with, exactly. Yeah.
But they ain't teach us that. So yeah.
Man, that's so refreshing. I'm glad to anytime I can hear a sister just speak the truth and understand the history of things, and understand, like, that's just refreshing, because a
Well,
lot of
thank you.
people don't understand that, and sometimes you try to explain it to them, and they think you're doing too much.
Hey, it can happen. People think
Right.
I'm a conspiracy theorist all the time, but I just grew up with a daddy who, first of all, I grew up in Mississippi, and Mississippi still don't want to let you give us free. They don't want you to have your Amistad. But I also was very big on, like, because my daddy got mad at me one time at something. I wouldn't stand up for the, I was in my rebellious, I don't, F the
Hmm.
man. I ain't standing up
Right.
for no Star Spangled Banner. It ain't never done nothing for
Right.
me. I probably was like,
Right.
I might have been in high school. My daddy was like, if you don't get up, I was like, you the one taught me to be like this. What is going on?
Right. Right.
You know, with my arms folded, all mad or whatever. He was like, what in the world? But I've always been very like, I all I had to hear was y'all doing it. Just like y'all told me that wasn't real meat. I ain't eating that. Like I'm a psychological. But some stuff, it's all in how you present it. That's what my mom always taught me.
Right.
If you feed me trash, I might take it better if you put some little sprinkles on and make it pretty. But you can't just be like, shove this down your throat,
Exactly. I feel you. You're what I would call intelligent. The
Oh, thank you.
ability. What is intelligence? It's the ability to
Process
learn,
information.
comprehend, and then apply.
Yep. I'm
Some people can learn, but they don't comprehend what they learn. They don't really understand what they learn. Some people can learn and comprehend, but they can't apply it to real life.
right.
So that's their level to
There's levels to
IQ.
this.
Right, right,
Levels to
right,
very
right.
good.
So
Yep.
I hear we got some good news out here
We
in
got
the
some
rap
good
industry.
news. It's a hot topic, hot topic. Hot topic, hot topic. Hot topic, hot topic.
What we got?
What we got? Let's see. We got ASAP Rocky. He got his Amistad today or yesterday.
Okay,
One of them.
ASAP.
You got? Did
He
you
was,
get my video?
yeah, he was in some mess. You want to play the video?
We'll play the video and then we'll go and explain. Well, let me just tell y'all. Remember, ASAP decided he wasn't taking no plea agreement. They had given him like 18 months house arrest, and it was like all these little parts to it. And he was
Right,
like, "Nope,
right.
I'm gonna take my chances." And had he not been acquitted, if he was found guilty, he was going to get up to 24 years in prison. He has 2 young kids by Rihanna. That he just seemed to be all this family man. I love ASAP.
Hmm.
I love that's my jam. I love that song. Don't ask me why. I just love that song. And well, probably because I think I'm a bad one. But and I was like, this dude about to go to jail because his ASAP really seemed to
Right.
have a case. You shot me. So
They
I
got too many
need
ASAPs in that group.
it's too, but that's the name. I can't think of what the ASAP means. It
They
has a
like the
meaning.
ASAP family, like Aspire, and I forget what it means,
It's
but
something positive.
right, it's something positive though.
Yep, and they
The
got a whole
meaning,
little group. ASAP Ferg, ASAP Rocky, ASAP Redley, ASAP Donovan, ASAP whoop whoop. I mean,
Illy, yeah,
it's almost like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
ASAP Rique.
ASAP Rique, there you go. And so here, let's check it out.
The jury in the above entitled action find the defendant, Rakeem Mayers, not guilty of the
Not against the audience. Or not against the audience.
Hold it down. Verdict has to be read on count. Yes.
So let me tell you what was funny today.
Good thing, man.
Let me tell you what was funny to me. One, I'm glad another man's not in the system. One of the jurors said, well, because, he was contending that it was a prop gun. He ain't shoot no real gun. He was blah, blah, blah.
Right,
Because it was
right.
against him for having the gun in the first place. The lady was like, it wasn't that we believed it was a prop gun. We knew it was a real gun. She said, really, ASAP Really's story just wasn't, it just had too many holes in it, too many inconsistencies. Like he was coming for money as opposed to really, I got hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
So But what's funny is when he turned around, it's almost like that girl was in the way. I got to hug you because I don't want to be disrespectful, but he knocked her out of the way and then jumped over there to
Right,
go hug who
right.
he really wanted because he was like, the culture ain't about to say he hugged that white woman first. He is
Well,
not about to say that.
I thought he had court in Green Bay at Lambeau Field the way he jumped into the stands. I was like, oh shoot, they out there at
They
Lambeau.
gonna arrest and tase him. I was like, Lord. And it was like one of the officers kind of helped him get over it. Like, well, let me just help him since he going. They were like, come
Right,
back. He was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
right. I
But
could have sworn I saw a cheese head in there.
child, it was serious. And the other not funny, just a few days ago, it might have been they were at court Valentine's Day, but it might have been the day before Valentine's, might have been on Valentine's. I can't remember the exact day where he brought his kids in, and they were like, that's just the way he, the prosecution was like, they made a whole announcement to the jury, like, do not, don't ignore that this person has harmed someone. Possibly, we are contending that he's harmed
Right.
someone. Don't be looking because he got kids and a family. Y'all feeling sorry for him, don't. And Rihanna had been coming to court anyway. It wasn't like that was her first day, but they did come in there with the 2 children, which I thought was interesting because they don't know what's going on, but they made note in that they were very well behaved kids. I'm like, what y'all think? All us ain't running wild. Some of us got mamas like Miss
Right,
Stacey
right.
and my
And
mama
that
who was
shows good
smashing
on
nuts.
him. That shows good on him in court if you bring your kids and your wife come, your family. That shows you have support. You have a
Right,
support system. And then if your kids are well behaved, it says, oh, he's a responsible father.
right.
So it looks good on him when it's time to come to the verdict.
But I don't think the kids need to come to court. Like, I
Well,
don't think they
that
should.
might
And
be
I
the
think
last time
Rihanna
they see their
definitely.
daddy. If he thought
But you need to see that he coming home and act like he in jail. He was at the house. So you're gonna see him when I get out this court.
yeah, but if
And
he
they're
would have
like
been,
4 and 2 or something. They don't know what's happening.
well, I don't know what they would have done. Usually when you found guilty, they go ahead and put you in them cuffs right
They
there and
do.
gonna send you to the back
They do.
and get ready, get you fitted for that orange soup and them suit and them flip flops.
I hope he learned. My thing is, and we say this all the time, while the system is not fair to us, we need to stop giving the system a reason to get us in it.
Right.
Like, go sit, whatever your beef with people, beef with them at the house with your significant other, and just let that ride because it's a different day.
Right. And I'm gonna get into that. First, I want to know when you went down, did you have them flip flops? Because I ain't see your feet in when you had your orange suit on. Did you have them flip flops? Did you have a pair of socks on?
I've not been to jail.
Yeah, you have. I saw you.
I know, but that scared me for a minute. I was like, what is he talking about? I can't remember if I think I had the whole thing on. I think I had on some, I don't know. I don't remember now that you asked me.
Oh, okay.
I feel like they were very true to it because where they got the orange jumpsuit and stuff,
Right.
They were trying to be true to the whole thing, child.
This case had so many layers that I found to be very disappointing and very weird.
Okay.
First of all, they were, like you said, they was a part of a group, the ASAP family thing. So everybody in the group was ASAP somebody.
Right.
Okay. Now apparently ASAP Really and ASAP Rocky had a falling out.
Mm-hmm.
Now the falling out came sort of when ASAP Rocky took off. And I guess everybody else didn't take off at the same pace that he did. So it was almost like this is a situation where a guy was jealous because his homeboy made it a little bit bigger or got more shine than he got. And I just think that's something that happens too often in the Black community.
Oh, I totally agree with you. We were talking about that. I don't know who I was talking about with earlier. I said, I'm not all about people doing crimes and stuff, but I think I was talking about Sha'Carri Richardson, Jamal Lewis, Michael Vick, these people who get to a level like it's a young boy in Columbus, Georgia, who was just arrested. He was a star athlete, and then the young man who was shot in front of his mom on his way to school that morning. He was a star athlete, but the day before was on this video with the guns and had on the mask,
right?
Still doing all this stuff. Star athlete, had the highest score in the school on the SAT. Like, not no dumb child. Like, not we just using you for athletics. And I was talking about how if you're the person who they're the one, you about to get out here, Shakari. So we need no, you can't have no weed today. I know you want to smoke, but you got a race, so you got a so-and-so. They're gonna be looking at you. They're not looking at us. And I'm sorry, you can't, we not gonna be your friend, but you can't be over here. Why aren't we better at protecting ours? Because everybody not gonna be the one. There's only one number one.
Right.
Everybody not gonna be the one. Why aren't we better at saying, nah, bro? I was telling somebody the story about my brother. I didn't come from like the hood. We're country, but my parents were very big on education. Like everybody, it was a big deal. Educating yourself, being, communal, all those kind of things. And so this one of my brother's friends, who also was from that same kind of background, was like, man, he forgot who he is. And my brother's Bobby V. Man, he don't want to go to strip club and blah blah. And that. And he don't want to be, because the dude's car got shot up somewhere one time. My brother was like, I'm not trying to be somewhere dead. That's not right. So, man, you forgot where you came from. He said, no, you forgot where you came from. That ain't the life we live. Like, and you mad because I don't want to be out there in the streets. Even if it was a life I did live, why would I want to continue? It does not end well. It does not. It's not going to end well.
I've seen many guys like that. And I usually had a problem with those guys. I knew a guy in college who had a very, mom and dad at home. Mom was a lawyer. They believed in education. They hit the lottery, the big game. Yeah, so they was well off.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, this dude want to sell weed and have the pounds at the school. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, you cool without that. That ain't where you come from.
Right.
I lost respect for him. Now, this was one of my friends, and I still consider him a friend to this day, because at some point he did get back on track, and now he's my lawyer. But I'm just saying, I'm that person. I'm that friend that's honest with all my friends.
Right.
No, you got some people that, friends that tell you what you want to hear, and they don't want to mess up the friendship. And I'm the one that tell you, bro, you tripping. You ain't hood. You ain't hard. Give me the weed. Let me do this. You know what I'm saying? You do that over there, or whatever. So another thing I found disturbing in this case. Apparently, when they got into this altercation, they left, one came back. According to the article that I read, A$AP Rocky pulled out the strap, but the strap wasn't real. It's a prop gun, and he shot because he was trying to defuse the situation. He was trying to scare A$AP really off.
Okay.
Now, A$AP really claims that one of the bullets grazed his hand or something, and he got shot in this altercation. Now, when the police came, they couldn't find any. They didn't find the gun. They didn't even have the gun in court. They couldn't find any bullets. They couldn't find anything, any evidence that this man shot at this man or anything. A$AP really went back to the scene, supposedly, and later on told them he found 2 shells. Here they go. First of all, I mean, on so many levels.
What you doing?
Y'all doing all this rapping, y'all all these hard boys, and here you go snitching. Like if somebody shot at you and then if you hard as you say you are, you go retaliate. That's no. I'm glad that it didn't get. I'm glad that they.
Right. I'm glad that's not what happened.
I'm glad that they studio gangsters.
Right.
Because that's what it turns out to be. I don't want to hear A$AP Rocky or none of these guys rapping hard, man. Y'all need to be conscious rappers, man. Y'all ain't hard, based on the understanding of what I got out this case. And then A$AP really was recorded on the phone saying that he wasn't going to press charges on A$AP Rocky if A$AP Rocky paid him off.
Oh, see?
Right. And A$AP Rocky didn't refuse to pay him off because he's like, bro, I didn't shoot you. That gun wasn't even real.
Right.
So I know that's why he was like, I know I'm innocent. Like, no, we're gonna take this to trial.
Right.
I know what I did. He know what I did. We both know that I'm not a real gangster.
Right. Like this ain't what I do.
Either.
I'm over here trying to sing R&B songs and make babies.
Right.
What is you trying and what's the name of that? Prince and Mercier liquor. I'm trying to elevate.
Right. Right, he got a family. He trying to do that family thing. You know, you got Rihanna. You can't mess up Rihanna now. You gonna mess up Rihanna, man. Boy, don't do that. You do not want to mess up Rihanna. I tell you
Maybe
that.
not the bit. She a billionaire, and she's saving her whole where Barbados.
Right,
Shoot, baby,
right,
don't come over here
right.
with
You
that
don't want to
foolishness.
miss that lick up. No, that's
No,
terrible.
absolutely
So,
cannot.
I'm glad the brother got that situation situated.
I hope he go
And
sit his butt down somewhere, honey. Sat down.
oh yeah, he. I think he got a movie coming out with
He
Denzel.
does. He does with and Spike
Spike
Lee is
Lee.
doing it.
Right,
Yep, because Spike Lee
right.
posted something about I can't think of the name of it. Let me go look it up right quick. Uh, with ASAP. Let's see if it comes up.
And this is the no show with Arlie and Nadi.
Highest to Lowest is the name of the movie.
Highest to lowest, boy.
Highest
You
to
talking
lowest.
about he just had the lowest to highest.
Talking about
This is real life.
He was on a roller coaster, and the trial
Right.
wasn't that long. It started like January 25th, I think. So it wasn't like it was a long trial, but it was long enough to have you stressed and
Right,
pressed trying to figure out
right. I mean,
if
you
I'm
can
gonna be.
tell that the tension was I mean, the way he exploded and jumped into the
Because
to the
think about
stands.
it. You get 25 years, your son too. He not gonna see you till he's 27.
Oh
He
yeah,
grown. Now
yeah.
you'd have missed an opportunity to raise him.
Right,
And the
right,
other one would be 30 something. 31.
right,
Mm-mm.
right.
Not good. Not good.
So yeah, so it's
Shout
good
out
that
to
he
A$AP Rocky.
got out of that situation. Right.
Do better. That's all I'm saying. Stay out them people. Stay out them people courts. Stay out them people's courts.
All right, I might have to do. I might have to take doing too much from you this week.
Doing
Yeah.
too much because there's some people doing too much.
It's a lot of people doing too much, and I just need to call them out. You know,
Call
that's
them
what
out.
I do.
Call them
So-
out. Call them out. Call them out. Call them out. It's hard to yell.
So we get back right here on the No Show. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, and please share with somebody. You know, get somebody on the show. Let them know what's going on. But when we get back, we got to get into this doing too much.
Made him breathe a sigh of
Yeah,
like,
because it's just a lot going on, Arlie. It's a lot of hypocrisy, and I just need to
whoa,
just talk about it
whoa.
right here on the No Show.
Y'all, I'm scared.
When you know what to do with what you got, you can do more with it. All right. So shouts out to my man Lavrel as well as the World Changers, making this thing happen and getting it done with your financial needs. All right. The World Changers help empower individuals and communities throughout financial education and implementation. Your agent Lavrel Hawkins has made significant strides in the financial services industry, using his expertise to guide and support others in achieving financial stability as well as success. Lavrel uses an holistic approach that addresses the mental, physical, financial, and spiritual aspects of being in a well space and place when it comes to your finances, all right? Y'all give them a call, 919-764-4626. That's 919-764-4626. The World Changes Financials and Lavrel are dedicated to empowering you and your communities through financial education and implementation. 919-764-4626.
Mama, you doing too much.
Who doing too much, Lord? Who doing it?
Everybody doing too much, Arlie.
I don't like my
You
hair,
know.
y'all. That's why I keep messing with it.
What's wrong with your hair?
I don't know. I just don't like what it's doing. But anyway, I'm doing too much. Okay, let's see if that
Right.
doing too much.
So this weekend, they had the past weekend that just passed, and I know you don't do a lot of sports, but I remember when I was back in college. You know, I've been watching sports for a long time. I've been really, well versed in it since I was in elementary school. Follow all
Okay.
I thought I was gonna be a professional baseball player when I was growing up. I was gonna play for the Braves.
Oh,
Baseball, golf, NASCAR, football, you name the sport.
everything.
I pretty much was
Ping
that
pong.
was all I was into.
Mm-hmm.
As I got older and I started to realize, the business side of it, understanding the collective bargaining agreements, understanding how baseball was the only sport that was excused from antitrust laws and things of that nature, and understand the politics behind it. I don't love sports the way a lot of people think. And in college, this guy was asking me about a sports topic one day, and we got to talking about it. And he was like, "Man, you really know how to break that down. You really love sports." And I told him I don't love sports, but sports is a good metaphor for a lot of things that goes on in life, and I can use sports to talk to people about other real issues. So
Mhm.
from that aspect, I like sports. So this past weekend, the All-Star game, which was horrible. It was I wasted 3 hours of my life watching it. But the highlight of the weekend was Matt McClung. He won
Yeah.
the slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
He won it 3 years in a row.
Mhm.
White boy. Now, a lot of people, when I say a lot of people, I'm talking about a lot of black people, are upset that this guy he is an NBA player, but he's not really an NBA player. He's played maybe 5 NBA games. He's averaging 0 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists. And those are his stats for this year. He doesn't play often, but the NBA really got him in there because a lot of the brothers who
Who can
have
actually
great
dunk?
athletic ability, who can actually dunk,
Mhm.
they don't want to be in a slam dunk contest. He was a show dunker prior to being allowed to play in the G League and play in the NBA. So the NBA kind of brought him in to spice up All-Star Weekend and slam dunk contest.
Right.
Now that he's the only player in the history of the NBA, which has been dominated by black men since hell, probably the 50s. You know what I'm saying? And now you got this short white guy who's won 3 slam dunk contests in a row, and he's going down as one of the greatest dunkers of all time.
That's sad.
You got the white boy Tyler Hero, won a 3-point contest. The best players in the NBA right now are Jokic, Luka Doncic, white Europeans. You got Ant-Man, who just recently in the interviews, they asked him about being the face of the NBA. He don't want to be the face of the NBA. LeBron is getting older. He's about to be out the game.
Right.
So he's not going to be able to carry that mantle as the face of the NBA.
Mhm.
KD just smashed the All-Star game. In his interview said, hell, we just need to do away with the All-Star game. We don't really want to play in that anyway.
Did he?
Draymond Green, during the All-Star game, he
Went
put a
in.
fire, napalm the NBA. This is trash. Why do y'all got G Leaguers who don't even make the All-Star game? Why are they here playing in the All-Star game?
Mm.
Because the people who are supposed to hold the All-Star game to the high standard and the standard it's supposed to be, y'all have been disrespecting the game, and y'all have drove down the All-Star game. Not only that, the ratings have dropped 40% since 2004. I'm not talking All-Star ratings. I'm talking
Right.
about
Just
NBA
basketball.
ratings.
Why do you think that is, though? Too many new rules, or
I don't think it's too many new rules. I mean, sometimes that might play a part of it, but I just think the players are getting so much money, which I'm never knocking. I'm glad they're getting as much money as they possibly can. But they get so much money, they don't have the competitive fire that old school regime had.
right?
So what we have in a black dominated sport, 80% of the athletes in the NBA are, and it might be lower now, it might be somewhere like around 73, 74%,
It's
but the
probably
majority
high.
of players are black. Okay, so in the NBA, the landscape is, especially for Caucasian players, they have to work twice as hard to be just as good.
Or be mediocre and they win the slam dunk contest.
No, I mean, no, this dude who won slam dunk contest is great. I
Why
mean,
is he
those
playing on a
dunks,
regular team,
those,
though?
I'm saying he can dunk. I mean, I'm
But
not
he
saying
can't.
for his playing, he don't play in that, no NBA
That's my
team. They
point.
don't, right. But as far as dunking and doing slam dunk contest type stuff, he's amazing. I mean, he won the slam dunk contest by getting all 50s. He had to get all 50s to win. because the other guy who was in it against him got a 49.7, then got a 50. So he had to get 250s to win. I mean, the guy jumped over a car with a guy sticking out of the roof, grabbed the ball, and did a reverse. I mean, it was amazing. It was spectacular. Now,
Okay.
you got a lot of black people who are really hating on this guy. They're hating on a lot of these white players because they're taking over. They're hating on, oh, he pushed off the top of the ball. He really can't jump that high. Or all he can do is prop dunks. All right, where's Zion Williams at? Where Ja at?
Zion can't. He stay hurt. He don't need to be trying
Where
to dunk
LeBron
nowhere.
at? Where Ant-Man
LeBron
at?
too old.
And so what we have in the NBA, in order for a white guy to be at that level and be good, he has to work twice as hard. Luka been playing professionally since he was 15 years old. The work that they got to put in to be just as decent is strenuous. Now you got this white basketball player in Duke. I just forgot his name. It's on the tip of my tongue, but he's really good. Cooper Flag.
Oh, yeah,
He's really good.
He's at Duke.
He's at Duke.
Okay, my nephew's about to go. He just got.
All right, they're talking about Ant-Man don't want to be the face. None of these guys want to be the face. Cooper Flag will be the face of the league. Never before have a white guy been the face of the league. Even when Larry Bird was playing, the greatest Larry Bird was, you had Magic Johnson.
But what in the basketball man? What did Jerry West?
The basketball man, the basketball logo is Jerry West.
Right, that was he. That's the face of the league.
Yeah, well, he's the logo, but I wouldn't say he's the face of the league. You know, he played back when Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell and all those guys played. But he was the great white height.
Right.
The white folks wanted him to be but he wasn't. I mean, he was great. Don't get me wrong. Great basketball mind, great basketball player. But he only won one championship. Now he's the only guy to win a Finals MVP and a loss. But once again, that's the politics of where I'm getting at. So Cooper Flag could be the next face of the NBA, a white guy.
80%. But you think about the NFL is similar to that in that they always use a quarterback as the face when 80% of the team, the members are black.
I'm gonna get to the NFL right here shortly. My point is, you got a lot of black people who don't like what's going on in the NBA right now. But these black guys are not stepping up, doing what they need to do to make sure they hold on to the league, hold on to the face of the league, hold on to the slam dunk contest and those things of that nature. And so we hate on these white guys for putting in the work to shine. What does that sound like to you, Arle?
I guess it's DEI. I don't know. It just sounds like.
Well, see, there you go. I mean, I'm glad you said that because let's flip this. We got the United States of America, which is majority white. Black people, we got to work twice as hard just to be on that level, just to get some shine.
And we don't get to shine.
No, we get to shine.
It depends.
Oh, yeah, we get to shine, especially in the eyes of the black people. But in the eyes of the white people, what do? Oh, well, only reason he made this for us. He ain't really that good. He ain't really, you see what I'm saying?
But it's almost like something else though, now. I feel like I see your point. I understand what you're saying, but it's hard to make the comparison when ours is usually like, I'm not taking nothing away from those players who are doing exceptionally well. I mean, he won the slam dunk contest, but the contention is that he's not even technically, I mean, he's in the NBA, but he's in the G League of the NBA. And so he ain't out there every day. They just bring him up for the highlights. And so he's not a well-rounded basketball player. Maybe that's the best thing. Because, LeBron could win a slam dunk, but he also going to get out there and post somebody up or do some defense or, run a screen, whatever. But he ain't doing
LeBron don't want to be in the dunk contest. Ant-Man don't want to be in the dunk contest. Yeah, what? They got to put somebody in the dunk contest because these white folks trying to make their money.
I understand.
Somebody got to be in the dunk contest and sell these tickets.
Right.
So if y'all don't want to do it, all right, we're gonna bring him in to do it. He'll gladly do it. He'll gladly go get this $300,000 to do this.
That'll be fine. And are any of the NFL, I mean the NBA players complaining? Because it's just us, and we're keyboard cowboys. We got plenty
Well,
of opinions, so
oh
we
yeah, yeah,
always talk
yeah,
about everything.
yeah. I
Our
mean,
opinions don't really matter.
like I said, outside of Draymond, KD, you know, and they not necessarily complaining about McClung because
Right.
in their eyes, you can't disrespect another baller. He's still a baller, you know, whether he's in the NBA or not. He's not at that level, but the players kind of respect players a little bit more than the fans. It's
Yeah.
just like if a black person works hard to shine at their job, somebody else in that field might respect him. Like, man, he really is good. I can learn something from him. That sister
No, they'll
got
just
that. That
yeah.
sister Patricia Bev got that laser eye patent, and there are other people under her who are Caucasian who they got to learn from her.
That's typically not the case because what I have a friend who went to law school with me and won't reveal too much. She works for a large institution, like a banking
Hmm.
institution. She knows she can run circles around them people because she worked in banking before she went to law school. So she had
Right,
both sides of it. And what did they
right,
do? They mixed up they made she was reporting directly to some higher level executives. They were like, oh, what we're going to do is put this white girl who knows nothing of what you know. She knows only one part of it, whereas you know all the parts, but you're going to report to her. So what the white girl started doing? I need you to be on all the meetings. She was like, nope, I got a meeting to schedule because now you
right.
need me to help
Of
you. But
course, you need
it
her.
was turning into a mess. And
Right,
making her look for other opportunities. So I disagree that when we work twice as hard, we
but like you,
often still get overlooked. It's the same. I was talking to a man that worked for one of them big banks at an event, and he was just saying, it's sad when we have like the, Black Business League or the Black MBA, and we come to the meetings, we tell
hmm
the young folks like, hey, and they're like, but y'all's numbers still look the same as they did 10 years ago. They will just, if you come here and get the training, you're gonna go somewhere else because they're not gonna ever promote you. So they're just gonna put another person who looks
right.
like you in that same spot.
Right,
It don't matter
because
how hard we work sometimes.
exactly, that's my whole point. Even though we working twice as hard to get that shine, they still don't want to let us get that shine.
No.
That's why they even got to a point where they elected a guy who wants to quote unquote make America great again. He wants to he wants to help them get back some of the stuff that they've sort of lost while we're working hard and getting that shine. It's almost like I talk about the Cowboys. Jerry Jones, he's just the same as Donald Trump. He's a capitalist. Now, these the Cowboys are the richest franchise in all the sports, and I know Loose Neck is a fan, and
I was
I
about to say
hope
we're
Loose
gonna
Neck.
have loose
I
neck
know
get
Loose
you.
Neck. I hope he don't take no offense to this, but I gotta speak truth because I personally don't understand how any black human being could be a fan of the Cowboys, understanding
Hmm.
the history of the team and understand the history of Jerry Jones.
Well,
He's
but
Donald
auto
Trump.
teams are like that though, aren't they? Should we like
No,
NFL,
I'm
NBA, MLB, hockey?
you're correct, but like Donald Trump, Jerry Jones has a affinity of being on the media. A lot of owners stay in the background. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be heard.
Right, so they can
Not
get their dirt in
Jerry.
peace.
Not Jerry. Out there every game, Jerry got something to say. He got to talk. He got to be on the camera. He gotta make all decisions. He don't even really have a general manager. They got Will McClay, who's a black guy, but Will McClay is a figurehead. He don't really do anything.
But just make his
So
check.
right. So Jerry Jones, he understands that in order for him to make money, in order for the Cowboys to have any success, he need black players.
Oh,
So he's
absolutely.
gonna use them. He's gonna use them. He's gonna you got just like Trump had all those guys at the inauguration parading around and you didn't like it. You Rick Ross and Snoop and all these soldier boy.
Still don't like it.
Jerry Jones do the same thing with Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders. He used all these black guys. You when they had when they talked about Deion interviewing for the Cowboy job, and he talked to Jerry. He didn't really interview. He talked to Jerry because Deion got a relationship with Jerry. I'll keep your name in the news. Jerry ain't gonna hire no black head coach, but Deion it worked out for both of them. I'm let you use me and I'm gonna use you as a negotiating point for Colorado. They need to give me more money because I might be in line for this Cowboy job. So all you it's the same thing. You got all these Negroes who they placate to Jerry. They show up at all the functions for Jerry and how the Cowboys and guess what? Guess what else they do, Arlie? Everything that Jerry say they believe. Jerry tell them folks every year we finna win the Super Bowl this year.
Well,
I'm
aren't we supposed to
I'm
say
all
that?
no, I'm all in, but his actions don't follow suit. He all in, but he got an opportunity to sign Derrick Henry, and I don't want to sign no running back. We good where we at. But you said you all in, Jerry. You got one of the best running backs in the league available. You all in. But you're not all in. But you got to sell this to your fans. And these people are so gullible. They eat it up every year. They sell out the stadium. They buy it. Jerry continuously lie. He lies and he lies. But you got folks who just constantly believe him. So I just think a lot of people.
I mean, it's hard to argue that, you know. Oh, look at Tim over there. Bless him hard.
And you see Tim Scott back there. Tim Scott might well be Michael Irvin.
Wait a minute now. I
mean, it's just real. I ain't got nothing against Michael Irvin.
And then is your contention that, you know, Michael Irvin should have been like, yeah, you drafted me? Because wasn't he drafted to the Cowboys?
My whole point is people have selective outrage. I don't understand how, on one hand, if we really think about it, people can get upset at Snoop, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, all these folks. But when it comes to the people that we like, Michael Irvin, Dion, and all these other folks who ride and die for Jerry and the Cowboys, even though he the same way as Trump. They caught Jerry Jones. They got a photo of him when they was integrating the black schools. Jerry Jones was one of them people like, no, I don't want these niggas in our school. Well, we sweep that on the rug. Let Jerry off the hook. Believe everything Jerry say.
I did not know that was a thing.
Jerry donated $2 million to Donald Trump inauguration. I do my homework. I did my research. But it's hard,
but Nadi, I don't think
what excuses
I can only say they're not in the same category, because if that's the case, then we should not be watching NBA. We should not be watching NFL.
Correct.
None of us own. But you the one to say you watch all sports. I've been studying sports my whole life. You watching all of them.
Like I said, when I was a kid, and I explained this to you before I started, I was enamored with sports because that's the household I came up in. My whole family was ingrained in sports. Wayne, the man that raised me with my mama, he was enamored with sports. That's what we did. That's how we bonded. We bonded through sports. But as I got older and started seeing the politics behind the sports and understanding the collective bargaining agreement and that thing, I lost the love of sports. But I saw a way that sports, definitely when I was younger, I thought all men liked sports. Until I went to jail for the first time. When I went to jail for the first time, that was the first time I realized that all men didn't love sports. Because I was like, hey, the game on. Let's turn the game on. They were like, a lot of them men and they were like, we don't want to watch no game. We want to watch girlfriends. And I was like, what? I was like, what's going on? Like, I'm in there arguing with these folk down there about to fight over the TV because they don't want to watch the NBA finals. They want to watch girlfriends. What is it? Y'all don't, they like it. And they explained to me, all men don't like sports like that. But that's what I thought coming up. But since I already was ingrained in sports, I did see how it was a good metaphor for other aspects of life. So from that angle, I watch sports and I follow sports. But even after the Colin Kaepernick thing happened, I stopped watching NFL football. I started watching NFL football about 2 years.
I did too. I
was like, they did Colin Kaepernick wrong. I'm not really interested in it.
But I guess so are you, because this has been a long, they doing too much. Is it you're saying that black people are doing too much because we are not supporting McClung as the person who won the slam dunk? Are you saying that
No.
White people, the black
What
people
I'm
in the
saying
NBA
is,
doing too much because they won't be the face of the NBA as they've been asked to do. Like who do or everybody just doing too much?
what I'm saying is, and I would say this: the reason why black people like the Dallas Cowboys is because are ingrained into the fabric of the Cowboys. You got black people who support Trump or whatever they got because they hate Trump. Either way, Trump can sway people's emotion because they are ingrained into the fabric of America. To me, it don't matter. I don't really care. I hope he destroy everything. But for a lot of people, they either hate Trump or they love Trump because they are ingrained in the fabric of America. And my whole point is, if we can understand as black people, definitely the black people that criticize Matt McClung, the black people that's going to criticize Cooper Flag once he becomes the face of the NBA, the black people that are upset because the face of the NBA is about to be white because white players are taking over the NBA. Well, you can understand it the other way around. You can understand why a lot of white folks are really upset that black people are in a lot of aspects, in a lot of areas, seemingly are taking over in the United States, and they want their country back. Oh yes, yeah. We're
No,
doing.
no. Let me
A lot
just
of black people are
clarify some
doing
things.
well,
The
Arlie,
thing is
and
the
that's a positive
perception.
thing.
No, it is a perception that we're taking over. It's not even a large enough population of us
You're
to take
right.
over. It's the
You're right.
perception that
It's the perception
if
of
you
who?
look in any major organization, you can go look on any of these executives, these websites for like Price Waterhouse, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, any of them, and you look at their executive, we might have one, maybe. And then women are even fewer and further between. Somebody runs it, don't look like us.
Arlie,
Home
if
Depot,
you look
Lowe's,
at
all this stuff.
you
So
look at
I
the
don't think, but that man, this dude called him Wig, and I think I'm gonna call him that. Wig has convinced these people. Some of y'all believe that, because of DEI, that's why
no,
planes
it ain't
falling
because
out
of
the
DEI.
sky. Well, that's what he said. He
Right.
said
That's
it
the
was
excuse that
DEI,
they
the
use.
planes fell out
That's
the
the
sky.
excuse that they use to knock down people who
But we're
are
not
being
even the people
successful.
doing it.
But Arlie, if you
How
look
can
at
you
the
determine
landscape,
as the person who is it's like the lion is never, the sheep ain't gonna never get to tell his story. The
Arlie, if you
lion ain't
look
gonna
at the
tell it for
land,
the sheep. He gonna tell it from his perspective. He was coming after
correct.
me and I felt and I
You're
had to
right.
eat him.
You're
No, the sheep
right.
over there, like I was sitting there minding my business, doing what y'all
You're
told me to
right.
do. And now all this stuff is happening to me. So I disagree. I understand why we don't support it because the sport has largely been, we excel in everything we
Right.
get into. We
But
are the
this is what I'm
best of
saying.
something, but it wouldn't be but one of us and it'd be 50 of them behind us.
But
So
this
they
is what I'm saying.
outmass us.
Arlie, if you look at the landscape of America in 2025, as opposed to 2000 or 1975, we've come a ways. There's been a lot of progression. We do have a lot of black business owners. We do got a lot of black people who've came up and are prominent in this country. Not enough. I'm not gonna say that, but compared to 1975, compared to 2000, and because of that gradual progression that we're making as a people, which is why I always tell people support black businesses, because we got to keep that progression going. We got to keep on going. But right now, what we're faced with, not only are we divided in our community, but these people are, the writing is on the wall, and now they want to use any excuse that they can to set us back, to halt the progression that we made. That's why the big thing about DEI when it first came up, this argument first came up in 2023. You had professors on the board of Stanford and a lot of these Ivy League schools, black people, black women, who they were saying the only reason why you got this position right here is because of DEI. And they were saying, hold on, DEI is not giving me a position. DEI is only taking somebody who's qualified, who also is a female or who's black. And even though white women, they um they benefited the most off of DEI,
Yes.
but the LGBTQ, like, you're not taking somebody just because they're black or just because they're a woman, just because they're LGBTQ. You're taking somebody who's qualified
Who wouldn't
and
have gotten a look
diverse.
otherwise. I
Right.
wouldn't have
But
gotten the opportunity
they're
otherwise because
very
y'all are only looking
qualified.
at your people. Right.
Right. They're very qualified. And when you walk into these businesses, everybody want to be represented when they walk into these businesses. I know when I walk into a store, I want to feel some sort of representation for myself.
Right.
If I walk into a store and I see everybody in there white, the manager white, the owner white, I'm walking out of that store. I'm gonna go as well with my money because we have to be DEI without money. That's what I believe. But definitely in Atlanta, and different parts of the world is different. But in Atlanta, definitely on the west side, in the West End, a lot of black businesses.
Yep.
A lot of places and stores I go into, you're gonna see us, you're gonna see Mexicans, you're gonna see LBGTQ, you're gonna see some Asians, you see some of everybody. Well, now it looks like this regime wants to put a halt to all of that. And even though I disagree with it, I want the people to kind of understand why. We do the same
But
thing.
it's based on a lie, though. It's
all based on a lie. You're
lie.
correct. The man didn't jump over the car because he was pushing off. He jumped on the car because he got a 48-inch vert. And he white. And I know it's an anomaly to see a white guy based off the movie White Men Can't Jump. But the man actually has a 48-inch vert. He can jump. So all that he pushing off and he shouldn't be here because no. Get in the call your brothers task and tell them it's time to take it back. Or else they gonna take over.
Yeah, that is true. And we have to either step up or be quiet.
Right.
My daddy used to always tell me, if you're not gonna do it, I used to complain when I was in 8th grade, when I was 7th grade, 8th grade basketball, saying they so sorry. So he bought me a basketball. I thought he bought me a car. I was very hurt. Let's just remind y'all, my daddy really played a game. He told me it was red and black, and I thought it was a red and black Maxima. I swear to God, I did. So when I get to the house and I flip the garage, and I'm like, it can't be no car in here. Anyway, it was a basketball, long story short.
Right.
And I refused to play basketball at that point because he had fooled me. But his point was, if you ain't gonna do nothing about it, stop complaining about it. So that's where I am with the NBA people.
Guess what I did last week, Arle?
What you do?
Not last week, the week before, when you weren't here.
What you do?
I tried to sing.
What you saying?
This is what I tried to sing.
Let me see.
A Negro need to know. A Negro need to know. A Negro need to know. No show.
I love it.
I tried to channel in my inner Arle. In my inner Arle.
Needs to know.
That sounds a lot better than what I got going on.
On the No Show.
Right. This week, Black History. I'm gonna play this. This is Gasper Younger.
Okay.
We talked a lot about in the past. We've talked about Black slave rebellions and that thing of that nature, and how it's not often talked about. And there was a lot of rebellions. Now, unfortunately, a lot of them got quelled, or they were unsuccessful. But there were many that were successful.
Yes.
And this is the story. One shout out to Joseph Ward for the video.
The royal family of Gambon was kidnapped, enslaved, and shipped to work in Mexico. Gasper Yanga and a group of enslaved Africans escaped and created a maroon colony near Veracruz, Mexico. The maroon colony lasted for over 30 years. 550 Spanish troops faced 500 Maroons. Yanga gave his demands to the Spanish before the battle, but the Spanish rejected his demands. The Spanish then attacked the Maroons. During the battle, the Maroons utilized their land to their advantage and were able to stall the Spanish army, causing the battle to end in a draw. The Spanish eventually agreed to Yanga's demands, which included the Maroon colony being autonomous and the enslaved Africans would be returned. The Maroon colony became known as San Lorenzo de los Negros de Sarajevo until 1932, when it was renamed Yanga. Gasper Yanga is celebrated as a Mexican national hero and Mexico's first African liberator.
I wonder what his real name was before they made him change it to Gasper Yanga. It was something else.
Yeah, his first name was Yanga. He was part of the royal family from West Africa. What is that? Guinea. And Let me see if I can get his real first name, but I think
No,
his
they said
first
his
name.
name was changed, so I don't think they would have the opportunity to know what his real name was. It was like Kunta Kinte made him
Well, it
change the
probably
total
was. It probably was.
in the 1500s. So only Lord knows what it actually was, but nonetheless, he led a rebellion that is known. You know what I mean?
Right. And it was very successful to the point where he has a city named after him in
Yep.
Mexico. In
Yep.
Veracruz, statues, national hero, also known as not only the first African liberator, but the first American liberator, because it was all a part of the North Americas at that time. And like I said, he wasn't the only one who led a successful rebellion. You had Bincos, Viejo, also Spanish, black, who had a rebellion against the Spaniards. You had Zumba, those Palmares, who rebelled out of Brazil and had a very successful, also freed his people in Brazil. So we've had a many of them, and I put these names up here. I mean, we ain't can't go into depth with all of them, but I would hope that the people would take this information and do their own research, sort of say, and just find out the great things that we have done. I mean, we've always been warriors, sort of say, because we were forced to. These people were taken out of royal families, kidnapped, and brought
Right.
into slavery. Unfortunately, today we talk about sports, tie this all back into sports. Our warriors are on the sports field, either on the court, on the football field. These are the guys, and it's not by accident. These guys are compensated to play these sports, to break their bodies down to a point where they can no longer be a threat.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
you have, let's say for myself, I'm probably 5'9", a buck 55. I'm not I'm made to use my brain. I'm not constructed to go out there and fight in hand-to-hand combat
But let
with
me say this
somebody
about
that's
it.
6'4", 230.
Right. But let me say this. I fully, like I've always said, when I watch the NBA combines and stuff, it feels like the pictures of slavery and all that kind of stuff, the same thing when they're on the
Right.
auction block and stuff. The only caveat I say about that is the NFL, nor the NBA, nor major baseball, none of them started with us. We were finally allowed in. Those men prior to were the ones getting beat up and knocked down. They didn't even have good helmets and stuff back then. Them people, it was bad. CTE is real.
Oh yeah,
They're
it's
trying to
got
do
real
better,
when we got
but
in there.
it did turn into a because we're just better naturally. Like we're better
Yeah,
academically. If you we got
stronger.
more PhDs than anybody else.
Right.
We got better. We jump higher. We skip faster. We play tennis better. We
Hmm.
golf, whatever. So I think a lot of it wasn't something they initially started to make it. It just turned into that. I guess I don't know.
Well, they didn't initially, like you saying, when it first started, it wasn't initially that way. But I believe as time kept evolving, and because a lot of black people had their own leagues.
Yeah,
We might not been in the
Negro
major
League.
leagues, in the Negro leagues. We weren't playing in a basketball leagues, but we had basketball leagues, and that's why they went out and said, "Hey, let's put that guy." And they put that guy on the team. They realized, damn, that team winning. Well, we want to compete. We need to go get some of them too.
My daddy
And
said, what's his name?
right,
Wade Bryant said that when he saw Alcorn play. No, Alabama State. It was either Alabama State or
right.
Alabama
I
A&M.
mean,
He was
you
like,
had.
oh,
I mean, we all know the story of Texas Western and how they beat the brakes off of Kentucky when they lined up 5 black starters against them white boys, and Adolph Rupp didn't like that because they got their head beat in. Bear
yeah,
Bryant. He's
yep.
like, we need to
Got to
bring
get us
these
some of
guys
them.
in. Right.
Hmm.
Um, but these guys are with a lot of like Zubia and Yanga. These were these guys, 6'4", 235, strong with leadership capabilities, can galvanize a community. But they all playing football and they all playing basketball, and they have no really sense of, not all of them, some of them maybe, but they just out of the bag. They don't really have a sense of, they working for white people who telling them what to do, when to do it, when to be there, what time to show up. If you get out of line, we need you to apologize. You go apologize.
Hmm.
So,
So we
it's
need to dismantle the league, you think? What you thinking?
how we gonna do that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just asking because it's you can't do both. We can't play for the people and not play
Right,
for people.
right. I mean, even with Colin Kaepernick, you saw the stance he took, the false narrative that was given of his stance, because they were saying he was protesting stuff he wasn't even protesting. He just wanted to see the police stop killing innocent black men and women. Oh, he don't love America. Oh, he's spewing hate, all this other nonsense.
But I have to, when I control the media, I can control the narrative. And the narrative has to, when you look, I don't watch Cowboys and Indian movies. I don't like them.
Mhm.
Probably because when I was a little girl, that was all that was on TV. It was like that or wrestling. I don't want to see neither one of them. But I noticed
Right.
when I watched recently, my uncles, we were all sitting around the house and they love them. And I was watching, I was like, y'all, you've noticed they done made the Indians these bad guys. They came off it like,
Right.
I don't want to watch that stuff. They put that in. They just a part of the media was, we're gonna make the black man look like, remember he would attack the
Correct.
lady.
They call them savages.
They attack him and they beat him. So that's all. If we are products of what we see, what we listen to.
Correct.
When you see white women, you walk up to them, they start grabbing their purse because they have heard that we snatching purses and we hurting people. They watch Real Housewives. My mama, the nicest person, she don't even know how to roll her neck or her eyes. She'll see a white woman kind of get out. She's like, what is she doing? Why is she scared of me? Because they've watched TV and they've been ingrained
Right.
to believe that or been indoctrinated to believe that we're harmful. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what you want to happen. I'm very
we've
confused
been
today.
we've been indoctrinated to believe that we are harmful as well. I know there's a lot of black people who are more afraid of their own, and they feel very comfortable around white people. I'm
Well,
actually the difference. I feel very comfortable around my own. When I'm around white people, I'm I'm more cautious. My guards are up. I don't know what's gonna happen because I know what I'm dealing with based off the history of America. Not even based off the history of America, but the history of the world. But I just don't fall.
now they stop. You got stuck for a minute.
Oh, okay. Am I still stuck?
Okay, you back.
I don't
You
seem
back.
stuck. Okay. Anyway, I just really had some things to get off my chest. I don't like selective outrage. I don't like when we criticize people for doing something, and then we go and do the same thing, and
But I disagree with you that
I
it's
guess
the
we supposed
same
to turn
thing.
it.
I can't give you like concrete, like them going to perform for Trump is different to me than y'all going. I understand the avenue you're going down, but I think there's some side streets that
I'm saying they got paid to go perform for Trump. Just like
yeah.
Michael Irvin
Well,
get paid to show up for these charity these events
so
for
you can, but in the NFL, you can say, well, in the going to play for Trump, you can say, no, I'm good. I'm not going to do that. With several people who did that. You really
yeah.
can't do that in the NFL. That's like your for real
Now,
job. Like,
now if you're if you're a retired player, you can say, "No,
so,
Jerry, I don't want to do that.
so what is the retired
I
player doing?
already
You talking about
played
the
for you and got
beeline?
my money."
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Romero said now they got stuck because he forgot to say pause after saying they tore their ass up
Oh,
in the race
pause.
analogy.
Right. I mean, we do a lot of stuff though. You got these networks. Some of them are far right, some of them are far left. They like to spew a lot of propaganda. You know, and that's why we even talked about earlier during the election. I was like, which media outlet am I supposed to rely on for information? Because both of them are skewing the truth or skewing information, sometimes giving out misinformation.
I disagree, but like you said, study to show thyself approved, like they say for the Bible. So, I
Right.
mean, you get some. I just also think people. It's like definitions. You get into argument with people about stuff sometimes. not you, but people getting arguments because like people, like for example, simple example, y'all dating and then you go, yeah. And it's like, well, I didn't know you were dating about, well, I'm going on dates with somebody else. Dating means we are exclusive. We go together, blah, blah, like the terminology.
Right,
So I think
right,
a lot of
right,
times
right, right,
when you
right,
say they're
right,
spewing mistruth or not telling the truth, I think it's definitions and terminology. I don't know, but
right, right. Well, you might be right. I mean, I
am I
guess,
racist?
I'm saying,
Larry,
I'm,
hold on one second. I did Larry Pinkins has a question. Am I racist? I can't
well,
be
hold on,
racist.
hold
Racism.
on,
Okay.
hold that question. Let me pay the graphic. We'll add that to the five question. What Larry Pinkins say? Shout out to Larry Pinkins.
Hey, Larry Pinkins. He wanted to know what my name was. And then Romero had to tell him it's right there on the screen. And I said, you need me? So Larry said, oh, you heard Romero, but you didn't hear when I spoke to you. Are you racist? I didn't I'm sorry, Larry, I didn't get a chance to because Nadi was saying something. But let me say, no, I am not racist. In order to be racist, by definition, I would have to have a monetary advantage over another class of people, and I do not. So perhaps I am a bigot. There you go. But
That's
hey, Larry,
hilarious. That's hilarious.
there are a few comments. I'm trying to see. There was another question. Naughty. Somebody, Till Dog wanted to know how long have you been letting your locks grow out? Because we all know that dread is a negative connotation, so we need to use locks instead. Okay, okay.
I've been growing my locks for 22 years. I've cut them a few times though. They were all the way down to my knees, so I've cut them a few times. So I try to keep them at a certain length, but I've been growing my locks for 22 years.
Wow, that's long. Okay, I done messed up and moved something, so we're gonna go Romero Head. Naughty's nickname is Slim and Reek, down from Enrique. LOL. Exposed.
That's true. That's true. A lot of my friends they just say Reek or Slim. Sometimes they say Rike Slim or you know, uh that is true. Like you say, these nicknames get trimmed down after a while.
People
I
be
mean,
old, they get
I've had
family.
some people just call me E.
Yeah, it's just gonna keep getting like that.
Right.
It's gonna keep on. Till Dog 12. What's up, Till Dog? Good evening, Arlie and Nadi. I just finished watching Final Destination for the 29th time. Now I need to watch y'all to ease my mind. And then you come on here and hear Nadi talking all this stuff. You ain't get no mind easing today, Till Dog.
Well, yeah. I mean, what my whole point is, there's a lot of contradiction. You know, you got you look at this guy who's in office. You call him Wig, right? I call him Wig too. He got a lot of these newspaper or these news outlets that he's removing from the White House and bringing the ones that he want in there so that he can
Control the narrative.
control the narrative, right? Who's being objective? And we think that sucks when somebody like I prefer to have objectivity. I don't want somebody to control the narrative, but we also have a lot of black outlets who they want to spew the narrative a certain kind of way too. They don't want objective truth. They want it to be spewed towards whatever they want people to believe. They got their own agenda. I think that's screwed up too. But some people would be willing to accept if one group of people did that, but then not accept or understand when another group of people do it.
But it's different when you
How is it different? It's the same thing. That's what I'm not understanding.
I think it's perspective. There's this movie out. I don't know if you've ever seen it called Vantage Point, and it was like a crime happened, and then they pulled all these people in, and everybody's story was remarkably different, but it was the same thing. So from your vantage point as a poor, as a man standing on the hill, you saw something totally different than the girl that was standing right next to the man who shot him. That's all I'm saying. So sometimes, but when you're controlling the narrative, you're only telling it from your perspective, or what you want me to know, not what's actually happening. And
Right,
that's
what I'm
different
saying.
than a vantage point. I think from black news outlets are telling it from a black person, even though we're not a monolith, but a black person's vantage point. That's what I think it is.
I'm saying
I find the difference.
I'm saying if there's a black channel, a black media channel, they decide
Like the griot. We'll use the griot for example.
we want to only push this narrative. We only want you to see it from this way. Well, that's no different than somebody else saying we want you to only see it from
But
this
not how
way.
can I see? Well, in all fairness, and if we're going to specifically talk about wig, I can't tell you. I can't even tell you the narrative or the side of the story for why he's doing it that way. I can only show
Right.
you from how it's affecting the Black people. Those people, like on a Fox News, they can see the other thing. They just not going to talk about it at all. That's very different.
Everybody can see, even when you spewing propaganda, you can see the other stuff. You just don't want to talk about the other stuff.
So
You want
what would be?
people to see it a certain kind of way. I like objectivity. Like I've heard Black guys get on these platforms and say, when I talk about sports or when I talk about stuff, I don't want to criticize the Black quarterbacks. I don't want to criticize the Black players because there's enough criticism going on. But then you got a person like Shannon Sharp, who he's just objective. If a Black guy's doing well, he'll say he's doing well. If a white guy's doing well, he'll say he's doing well. If either one of them is not doing well or performing poor or doing something that's hurting their team, he's gonna speak on that too, because that to me is professional. That's how a professional would do it. You would be objective. You would give both sides. You would give all the vantage points. But to say, I'm only going to choose to give this vantage point because I want to protect these people.
But that's why you have more than one person giving the commentary. Like you don't ever see a show where it's just a solo person. If I am in fact one that does not want to sit here and degrade a Black woman, because like you and I got into, I can't remember what it was about, but I don't choose to do that. I don't choose to find
right. Neither of us choose.
I don't want to choose. That's not my perspective. My perspective is it can get better if we do XYZ. I'm not gonna be like, I'm about to bash so and so. But if you are blatantly doing something, as in the wig, we can't ignore that. But if it's something like, I cannot remember what you and I did not agree. It's plenty of stuff we didn't agree on. I don't agree.
Right. There's plenty of stuff we don't agree on. I didn't agree on canceling Snoop Dogg and Rick Ross and them because they went and got a check.
You have the right to believe that's fair. That's fair. And I'm being objective. I am being objective.
But
I don't feel like if I had my brothers, nobody would go play in the NFL. They would have all taken a knee. And we would have brought that system to their knees, and they would have to look at things differently. But we don't have the community to do that. But I'm not going to tell them not to go make their money.
But see, the beautiful thing about our platform is you have a right to say, I don't like what Snoop and Rick Ross did, and I have a right to say I disagree. And then we can it's on the platform, right? But if you look at what ESPN did a few years ago when they had Michael Smith and Jamel Hill. And Michael Smith and Jamel Hill was really pro-Black, and they were speaking out, and they were doing a lot of things with their shows. And ESPN got rid of them because ESPN did not like the narrative that Jamel and Michael Smith was pushing. Stephen A., on the other hand, he says whatever the network execs want him to say, if it's going to push their agenda. Well, that's why I don't watch ESPN. I can't watch ESPN, but
perhaps maybe, or just ESPN. Period.
No, ESPN. Period.
Okay.
Their whole network is designed to push a certain agenda. They got rid of the people who were being objective and pushing a different narrative at times. So I don't watch ESPN because to me that's not good programming. Nothing on there is good programming. Nothing on there can benefit anybody who wants any sense sort of objectivity. That's my whole point about that. But I'm that way about any media outlet that doesn't want to give objectivity. I like to hear both sides of the story. I just don't want the narrative to be pushed one way because that one way is never the total truth. Sometimes the truth is sprinkled in between both sides of the story. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, y'all heard it first. Natty, that's how you feel. And
any more questions out there? We got any more?
I was trying to look for any questions
500 answers
in there. I don't see any more questions.
Oh, you got some interesting chat you want to read real quick? We got to get up out of here.
Yes, the no show will not be happening tonight, you guys. Joe Hamilton is not going to be on tonight, but stay tuned for a pop-up show. We're hoping sometime this week. So make sure that you share, like, subscribe. Make sure you push that little, click the little bell so that it can remind you when something is happening in Stewart Media Entertainment, because we want to see your face in the place or your text in the mix or you know what I'm saying.
Loosen that ESPN can't control Jamel and like Michael like they can Stephen A. You're correct. Like I said, I met Stephen A. once before, and it's apparent to me that he totally sold out.
Yeah. Miss Stacy was saying that, I was told education was important. She was saying that what she was told was that own your own business. So shout out to all those
I
out
agree
there
with
who are
that.
learning to do your own thing. That's your mama. So she told you that. Thank you, Mr.
Right. Mr.
International.
International, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Just like really think you asked for either him or me. Champagne, him or C. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's true. ESPN got rid of the two last dudes. Yes, they did.
They did, Royal.
They did. Yeah, so that's a lot of politics.
ASAP just got his go-ahead stamp. He about to blow up now, going commercial now. I hope he does something, Romero, other than getting in trouble. Don't go back in them people court. Just like Snoop did. He was like, y'all ain't gonna see me back in here, and we did not.
Yeah, I mean, maybe these movies are gonna work out with him. I mean, you about to rub elbows with Denzel and Spike Lee. So
hey, move yourself on into higher. You be jumping into the higher ground. I think that's a song by Stevie. Anyway, Sydney Action Jackson, thanks for joining tonight. Nadi can miss me with the white folks gotta work harder stuff. That talk is the antithesis of how America KKK.
Yeah, obviously he missed it in the NBA. If a white boy want to be on the team and play with all them talented athletic brothers, he got to work real hard.
He does.
So it's the flip side of America. That's what I'm saying. It's the flip side, because we are the minority in America, and we got to work twice as hard to get any shine. So that was my whole point behind that.
Yeah. Julius 35C. When are we as Black people going to realize we have the capability to be successful without white people? Yep. We just have to realize it. We just got to realize it.
We don't realize it. That's why we begging for DEI. But that's neither here nor there.
And as Romero, again, what's up, Romero? He can't work on height. He's a short white boy. No credible college accolades. He can't play with these youngins, but that don't take away from the work he put in at Duncan. Ain't taking nothing from you. You got it.
Right.
And then Julius again. I can't blame Candyland Cowboys fans because a lot of them been fans before Massa Jerry bought the team in the late 80s. So perhaps that's a reason why they were fans before, and it's hard to let go of something you've been doing.
I understand that. You're ingrained in it. He made $10 billion off your loyalty.
Well, I don't know what you do. Go pick another team, Loose Neck, because we know he a Dallas Cowboy. And y'all, I realized Loose Neck, that's me. I kept looking at things. I said, Loose Neck, is that me?
Yes.
My hair is pretty too. It is golden brown. I mean, golden. I look like Goldilocks over there with my little glasses. I don't know what day that is, but get it, Arlie. Loose Neck. I've been a fan of the Cowboys since the 70s, and most Black Cowboys fans don't like Jerry either.
Yeah, but they support that team. They're ingrained in the fabric of the Cowboys. They buy them jerseys. They pay for that parking. They buy them concessions.
But they
make that man rich.
Supporting the people on the team who look like me. That's like when they were saying if you boycott certain things, we're torn. If I boycott, they were talking about boycotting Florida at one time. They were like, but it's a lot of people who work in those parks. That's not the people that's going to be affected when you. I mean, the bottom line will be affected, but me, the worker bee, is going to be affected more than anybody. So you have to figure out which side your loyalty lie on. So
I agree. It's just funny to me how people can be like, I hate this man so much, but your actions don't follow suit. How can you hate somebody so much, but you keep on talking about them? You keep on
who you talking about?
Money with. I'm talking about anybody. You say you hate somebody so much.
But go back over there. That's relationships. They do that all the time. I hate him. Remember, I hate you, Jody. I hate you, Jody. Oh, Jody, I'm gonna make you some tacos. It happens all the time. That's why now they got stuck, because he is stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's them folk. They coming for me, Arle.
The people, Lord.
A lot of
slavery happened so much that the whites had to create the Second Amendment. Yep, that's right. Didn't ever think of it like that until one of y'all said that the other day. But yeah, just a reminder, there will be no in the huddle with Joe
No
Ham
Joe show
tonight.
tonight.
No Joe, no in the huddle with Joe. But we will see you guys bright and early in the morning, either live at 7 a.m. or in the replay on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We look forward to seeing you because it's always going to be some good stuff. Naughty with his Funky Four, me with my entertainment report, two live stews arguing about who won because it ain't looking good over there on the Facebook
Oh
page.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got some more Black
I'll get
history for
ready
y'all
a report.
tomorrow too.
You got some what?
Some more Black history as part of the Funky Four. I got some more Black history for you.
Awesome.
Keeping that going. I might keep that going for the whole year. I might just not keep it to.
That's what Time Joyner did.
This 1 month.
Black History 365.
Right.
Yep. Well, we love y'all and thank you know-it-alls for showing up tonight to learn a little something and see what it is, yo. What's up?
I appreciate y'all bearing with us tonight, particularly myself.
Yeah, he was on one today. I don't know where the one was, but he was on it and we just let him be on it. Yay. It was the Naughty show because I was like this. I don't know what we did. He's froze again, but at least he froze with a smile. With a smile. All right,
Until
y'all.
next week. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, and share. Bye. Bye, everybody.